Hey man, this is my two-shop Johnson. Send a shout out to J. Calderon, Boxing Talk.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, J. Calderon, Stan Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's Boxing Talk. 3-division world champion and Japan superstar, the monster, Naoya Inoue, captured the Muhammad Ali trophy in the World Boxing Super Series tournament final in the bantamweight division of 118 pounds against 4-division world champion and future Hall of Famer, Nonito the Filipino Flash Donaire. This was a great fight, one of the best fights of the year. You had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch this fight live on Dazn. It was taking place overseas in Japan in front of 20,000 fans in the arena in the backyard of the monster. This was a hell of a fight. You got to tip your hats off to both fighters, true warriors in the sport of boxing, and this is what boxing is all about. If you was able to catch this fight, you was able to watch this fight and have a great treat seeing these two guys go at it, because everyone thought that Nonito Donaire was going to get blown out and that he was going to get demolished. He's 36 years old. He's at the end of his career. He's not the same fighter. We saw when he fought Carl Frampton that he lost that fight and it looked like it was retirement time for Nonito Donaire. But this was his last hurrah, his last stand of greatness. And he was fighting a very good competitive fight. Even though I didn't see him winning more than 3 rounds in this fight, he was in the fight throughout. You know, he looked like a very big man because at bantamweight, 118 pounds, that is his best weight. You know, he was a destructing beast when he was in the bantamweight division. And when he moved up to 122 and also 126, the featherweight division, you know, he really didn't have that same punching power and look that big against his opponents the way he does against bantamweights. And you saw the size difference in the ring. But the monster, this guy is an incredible fighter. He's not only a seek and destroy fighter, this guy has boxing skills. And he displays some beautiful boxing skills in that ring, because Donaire in the second round hurt the monster with a beautiful left hook, that vaulted left hook that Donaire has. He landed that shot and you saw the monster backing up and he was getting hit cleanly with some good shots by Donaire. And the monster started to box. He started to use that great footwork of in and out, moving side to side. He displayed that hand speed, very good fast hand speed that he has to let off those combination punches. And he had a great jab. His jab was so solid and on point that he was beating Donaire to the jab each and every round, and boxing and moving and looking superb with his skills, that he was able to let off those big shot combinations. And he landed some very hard punches on Nonito Donaire, but Donaire showed a great chin in this fight. Donaire was able to take the punches from the smaller man because he was the bigger man in there, and he was able to absorb those shots, you know. So these guys were going back and forth. In the 8th round, you saw Donaire, you know, landing some very good body shots as well and getting off those left hooks and straight right hands on the monster and was hurting the monster. There was a cut that was open up earlier in the round. The monster was bleeding. The blood was pouring on the side of his face, but he kept on showing great heart as well, and he kept on ripping those big shots and backing up Nonito Donaire. It wasn't until the 11th round where he caught Donaire with a beautiful body shot that hurt Donaire. It was a delay reaction. Donaire walked away and he went down to the canvas and he was badly hurt. I thought he was going to get counted out. I think that was a pretty slow count, but Donaire was able to get up at the last second. He was able to continue to finish off the round, and he fought the last round like a true champion, a true warrior, all the way to the end. This was a moral victory for Nonito Donaire because, like I said, many people thought that he was going to get knocked out, but he showed bravery. He showed what a true champion truly is. He showed how great of a fighter that he has been throughout his entire career, winning titles at 115 pounds as a super flyweight, 2-time bantamweight champion at 118, super bantamweight champion at 122 pounds, and a featherweight champion at 126 pounds. Nonito Donaire, you know, he's been an absolute ambassador for the sport of boxing. Very nice guy. You know, this man has given us some great, spectacular highlight reel knockout victories throughout his career as well. But this was a great riding off into the sunset moment for Nonito Donaire. Even though he didn't get the win, he finished the fight on his feet. He didn't get knocked out. He fought bravely. He fought like a true warrior. And he gave a true test to a young fighter, 26 years old, Naoya Inoue, because this kid has never been in a fight situation like this. Like I said, he's been going in there and just blowing guys away very easily with his punching power. He was able to show his boxing skills and how good he really is against an experienced fighter that's 36 years old at the end of his career, but gave a game performance and really tested him throughout this fight and landed some hard shots on the monster. And the monster was able to take those shots with a very good chin and some good defensive skills. So, you got to tip your hats off to both men for giving such a great performance for boxing fans very early in the morning for us here in the United States to wake up and watch this fight. But it was well worth it. Dazn doing another great job, bringing another great fight to us, in this fall season. And you have to say that this one goes right up there with a lot of the great fights that we've seen this year. And Nonito Donaire, what happens to him now? He should retire because he's had a great career and he's definitely will see the Hall of Fame one day in the future. And he's been an excellent fighter throughout his career, winning multiple world titles, so he has nothing to be ashamed of. He made it to the finals. Nobody thought he would make it to the finals, and nobody thought that he would make it to the final bell of this fight. But he did, and he showed out in a great performance. Now, as far as the monster, Naoya Inoue, he has the WBA and the unified IBF title. He's the Ring Magazine champion, and he's the Muhammad Ali Trophy winner of the World Boxing Super Series. He is the man at 118 pounds, and he is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world today. I got him right there around number 6 on my pound for pound list. But he is an extraordinary young fighter, undefeated, 19-0 with 16 KOs. His brother fought on the undercard for a world title against the other bantamweight champion, Wbss champion from France, Bali. Bali is a very good fighter. He was an outstanding amateur, undefeated, 17-0 now with 12 KOs. Very good puncher as well. And he handled the monster's brother with pretty good ease. He landed some good shots throughout the fight. He dropped Inoue to the canvas and he won a unanimous decision on the scorecards. This is a great storyline to build up to a fight for a unification match so that the monster could go after the WBC title. We know that Top Rank is going to announce pretty soon that they have signed the monster to a co-promotional deal with Japanese promoter. So now they're going to be able to bring him to the United States to fight on Espn in the future. So this is a great matchup for these two bantamweight champions that are undefeated. Both of them, have world titles to unify the division, and it's going to be a very good fight. But it's a fight where I know that the monster is too strong and too good for Bali, because that man starts very slow in the beginning of his fights, and he can't afford to start slow against a fast-paced destroyer like the monster that will take him apart in the first 2 or 3 rounds before he starts getting ready. By the 4th round, I think he will be out of there and knocked out very early in that fight whenever they decide to make that fight happen. But there's also other options that are out there. You have WBO bantamweight champion Zalani Tete, who is from South Africa, who is a very good boxing technician. He did not get to complete the World Boxing Super Series because he got injured and he had to pull out of the tournament. But now he has an opportunity for a title unification against the true champion of the division, against the monster. And that's a very good fight matchup as well. But it's one where I believe that the punching power will overthrow the boxing skills of Zalani Tete. And I believe he will also win that fight by knockout and could become the undisputed champion at the bantamweight division of 118 pounds. But the fight that I truly want to see, which is the best fight matchup that I believe that could be made in this weight class, is against former WBC champion from Mexico, which is Luis Neri. This guy is the second best bantamweight in the division, and I believe a fight between these two has to happen before anyone moves up in weight, because that's the true fight that I would love to see. Can it happen by next year? We're going to have to wait and see how these fights are going to play out. But I believe that the first two title holders will get their opportunity against the Monster. I believe that the Monster will knock both of those guys out clearly and will be dominant as the undisputed champion of the division. And then a major fight that has to happen is between Luis Neri and Naoya Inoue. This is a great matchup, and I can't wait to see this fight. I'm hyped up for that fight, even though I believe that Neri is a very tough, very skillful fighter and has very good punching power. I think that the Monster is not going to get beat by anybody at 118 pounds. There's talks about Top Rank wanting to move him up in weight to fight a super fight against Vasily Lomachenko, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. He fights right now at the lightweight division, but he would come down to possibly close to the featherweight division, somewhere around featherweight and junior lightweight, catch weight, so that these guys can meet up. I think that Lomachenko is just too big for the Monster. The Monster moving up that far in weight past the featherweight limit is definitely not in his favor. And it's a fight where it looks good on paper, and I'm pretty sure that it will be quite competitive. But I believe that Vasily Lomachenko will deal with the power even much better than what Nonito Donaire was able to do, because we saw the size of Donaire and the size of Lomachenko is even bigger, and he will be able to absorb those punches quite easily, and the boxing skills between both of them will come down to a classic boxing match. Lomachenko will edge him out to a decision victory. We'll see what Top Rank has in store for this young, super talented fighter that is an undefeated champion in the bantamweight division and has a lot of options on the table as he moves up in the pound-for-pound rankings as one of the best fighters in the world. But I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button, hit that bell icon, put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Also, hit that like button, hit that share button, drop a comment. Follow me on all social media platforms, on Twitter, on Instagram, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stan Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support, keep watching, and please subscribe.